There are no conspiracy theorists today. One of the most reprehensible things I have ever seen politically has happened. Not because somebody was convicted of a crime, but preemptively pardoning somebody, basically saying they convicted a crime. They committed a crime, excuse me. There are no conspiracy theorists today. None. This is an unusual opening for this show. Normally, there's headlines in the description and the whole 9 yards. None of that happened today. I went around trying to gather as much information as I could about what was going on behind the scenes, what this actually meant, and how many people were actually pardoned today. The day of change in the United States, where we have an inauguration, which is we're coming up very quickly on in 20 minutes or so. But you're here ahead of that to watch a 6-minute daily, which I'm going to do. We're going to get that started in just a minute. But there are no conspiracy theorists today. If you look at the long list that is out there, ask yourself a question. Which and what of the things that we said were being done during this Biden administration didn't happen, didn't come true, wasn't actually the truth that was being hidden with censorship? I'm upset for a reason. It's not this reason. Welcome, Pilgrim Media, for 2 CultureCasino clams. People are upset. I'm happy. Wearing MAGA. Yeah, well, I have good reason to be upset. People that largely destroyed America for 4 years were given preemptive pardons. There are many other people that committed criminal acts, I'm sure, and I imagine that they're going to be the ones that are going to bear the bulk of this issue. But one of the highest paid government employees, if not the most highly paid government employee, was pardoned today. You only get a pardon if you've committed a crime. And this is probably the 10th or 15th example of Biden going back on his word to the American people. Maybe more. It's hard to count. There's no win here. I mean, we already had the win. We had a kind of a mini celebration last evening at the rally. Today, the hard work begins, and we can't stop. We have to make the next 12 to 16 years an effort in cleansing the corruption that made its way into every facet of government. We need to remove those that are corrupt. We need to have congressional representatives and senators that can't trade stocks while they are in our employ. They also shouldn't be earning a salary. That's an entirely other conversation. But I'm glad you're happy. I'm happy too in many ways. But I think we need to get to it. So let's get started on the show. Sorry, that's not the way I like to start. But we'll talk more about the cowardice of the pardons in just a little bit. Here we go. Greetings, fellow beings. We're live, and this, despite this morning's surprise at the 11th hour, which I should have expected from the corruption of the Joe Biden presidency, I'm excited. Today is a day of change. This is Monday, January 20th, Inauguration Day. The This is the beginning of the unwinding of the corrupt, the removal of the complicit, and hopefully the pursuit of all of the wrongs that we've basically suffered for much longer than most of us realize. It actually extends back to 2008, maybe farther. And if you ask me, we need to revisit the Patriot Act because it is exactly the opposite of that. I want to say thank you to Pilgrim Media for the first super chat of the day, and I want to say a howdy ho, and thank you for Liberty Hall's Cat for a Culture Casino membership. Thank you, my friend. Whew. All right. Let's go, Ms. Pick Cafe says, I agree. Spaceship Vampire is here. We've got the Admiral Teague and my buddy, my pal, my friend, Judicon. What's going on, Judicon? Tim Hayes is in the house. Somebody I was hanging out with in a chat today. He sent me a message. That was kind of cool. Miss Pick Cafe is in the house. Jill Powers is here with a wrench. And tomorrow, Jill's going to be on Pops' show. So you got to go check that out. That's right. I mean, I'll do my little bit, but then you got to go over there and check out Jill Powers is the guest for Pops. I think it'd be awesome. Donovan Bradford, hello. And Istafobo says the pardons will be remembered in the midterms in 4 years. Oh yeah. Look, this is the problem when you do stuff like this. You create a lot of people who will make it their life's mission to find justice. This is the two-tier justice system, kids. And it is despicable. Davina is here. And I've got Jan Monroe out there. Good to see you. Philip Gaming, 47 is in. Well, in about 15 minutes. We've got JPRPH1 in the house. And, of course, Morgan King. Hello, Morgan. Is it 15 minutes or is it already done? Did I miss it? Somebody help me with that. Thank you. It's nice to see you, Miss Pick Cafe. Miss Pick Cafe. Good to see you. Penny's here. Penny, I got a message last night from my producer because I wasn't able to pay attention to the chat all that much last night during the show. You don't like the Shake Crate commercial. Is that correct? I'm just curious because I can certainly change that. I find it funny. A lot of people enjoy it, but I didn't realize you didn't like it so much. Razorburn is in the house. That's right. Good to see you. And we got an amazing inauguration gift for me. That's crazy. For 5 Culture Casino clams from my buddy, my pal, my friend, Judicon. Saying happy inauguration day, Culture Casino. And to all the good folks in the chat, a happy inauguration day to you, my friend. I hope I get to see you again this year. I'm looking forward to Florida. Low Spec Linux laptop and Low Spec Linux gaming is in the house. Great to see you, Jeff. Hope you're doing well. We've got Walter Tomaszewski saying, Gel out. Jello. Geloja. That's a little different. Oh, folks, I'm a little steamed today. I mean, these are people who destroyed us. Getting away with it. John says, you. And of course, Tay Al, or Tay AI, fangs should never stab your eyes out. I agree. Terry Rose, how's it going, buddy? A glorious day. There shall be songs sung. Kapla. Indeed. Aurora Uplinks in the house. Great to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Of course, Go and Shogi gifted a Culture Casino membership. Thank you for that. We are two memberships on the way. That's amazing. You're amazing. Well, let's see what else is happening. We've got, the nightmare definitely ends. So many of you out there in the chat. I just want to say thank you for you all being here. Joanna, good to see you. I know it seems very U.S.-centric right now for my international friends, but this is the day of change in the United States. And it is what it is. Mexican Iron Man files a lawsuit against culture for perjury and misinformation and contract violations for no high roller weekend inclusion. You're going to get it, Mike. Calm down. Yeah, our national nightmare is over. It probably, I don't think it's over, but I think that there's going to be a lot that will come to light. And I think once Kash Patel is in place and all of the corrupt agents at the FBI run away, that there will be there's a cleansing going on. Let's just say, right now, stories that are given are interesting, and we'll get to them in just a moment. But that's what the 6-minute daily is for. All right. Okay, Penny, I will keep that in mind, dear. Jeremy, good to see you, Jeremy Heath. Yep. Thank goodness in America. Hey, good to see you. We've got EF, Ethereal Warrior. That's right. Ethereal Warrior. It's good to see you. We've got a chance for change, not just a chance, I think. And I am excited for it too, my friend. Not only a chance, but we should see it. The Bad Cab would have been David Lynch's 78th birthday. Yeah, it's really sad. And to lose such a great auteur native Hawaiian is in the house. 808 forever, folks. All right, let's get going. We've got to go. Boo boo. The SFXF 314 Sabertooth Raptor 11 Alpha. Brian Mack, hail. Randall Orser, all the way from Canada, because he's a Canadian. Morgan King, also a Canadian. Hello, hello, hello. RC, good morning. Scott Somers is out there. Hello. Carl Singh, hello. Gollum. All right, everybody. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6-minute daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it. And as you can tell, I'm a little steamed. It seems Joe Biden issued a lot of preemptive pardons, which means a lot of guilty people will not be punished for their crimes. Because what does a pardon mean? You're guilty of committing a crime. And he did it because he's afraid of what would happen to Anthony Fauci, Liz Cheney, and others January 6th committee members. See, you pardon everybody who could actually spill the beans on you and all of your corruption so that they maybe won't do that. I don't know. Because if they commit the crime of perjury and it's proved when they are questioned about your misdeeds, well, you got a problem, don't you, Mr. Biden? Usually you do. So yeah, Anthony Fauci, General Mark Miley, and members of the January 6th committee, which means Liz Cheney will never pay for her string of crimes. Their staffs are pardoned. My goodness. And they don't want to be targets of an investigation? Of course not. They're guilty of committing a crime. That's what pardon means. They're pardoning the crimes that they committed. That's what it means. It means there is a crime. You do not preemptively pardon over an investigation. That would make no sense. If you believe that there's nothing to the investigation, you don't do anything. If you know they committed crimes, you pardon. There is no argument for this. So he said some baloney sausage, which I'll read. Our nation relies on dedicated, selfless public servants every day, and apparently corrupt ones. They are the lifeblood of our democracy, yet alarmingly, public servants have been subjected to ongoing threats and intimidation for faithfully discharging their crimes and duties. This guy needs to find a way to be held accountable at some point. I'm not sure how, but exposing his crimes are going to expose more people. If he thinks he's not going to have investigations launched against him by lots of things, I don't know. But criminals get pardoned. That's all there is to it. Biden pardons Fauci and Miley in an effort to guard against potential revenge by Trump. Revenge? Revenge. You mean convicting them of the crimes they committed? See, AP doesn't hold water, does it? More of this stuff from CNN. Preemptive pardons. That means they committed crimes. So, yeah, he's trying to, I guess, make sure there's not a lot out there on him. Pepsi hurt small businesses by giving big box retailers financial advantages, the FTC claims, which this is a true claim. This was reported on Friday. If you service Walmart and all these other bigger companies with better prices and display individuals and all of that, you are disadvantaging the smaller companies. There's no doubt about it. So we'll have to see what the FTC does with this. I don't know. There may not be enough water in the bucket. But we know there's plenty of water in the Trump bucket as the markets are very optimistic. We're watching meme coins that Trump and Melania started go bananas. You're watching Bitcoin go crazy. You're watching it all go up. That happened to be on the upswing. We'll just have to see what happens. There probably isn't a comeback for the Haktua coin, so sorry about that. But I'm not sorry that, some people got a reprieve. It's a temporary one, as the story itself says. 90 days. If TikTok doesn't actually find a U.S. partner in the next 90 days, then, well, it'll be over again, and most likely permanently at that point. There is no great place to go if you're a TikTok creator. There's no follow-up. There's no alternate, because apparently Lemonade got eliminated and a lot of others, including Marvel Snap. That game went dark, amongst other things, because of the TikTok ban, because of its association and obviously interconnectivity. Sorry, Disney, you're going to have to figure out a better way to fleece people. But yeah, TikTok has definitely transformed Hollywood and the way that we engage and make content, very, very short form, which is why I originally started this out as a 6-minute thing, which it never is now, ever at all. But more Moana. Mula rolled in this weekend. It finally crossed $1 billion. Third release of 2024 to do that. So Disney, congratulations. Spending exorbitant amount of money occasionally will make you some money. We've got indies pulling their weight at the theaters, like Nosferatu, which did really well. The Substance came back into light, as did The Brutalist. So well done, specialty box office. China's economy is being claimed to have expanded 5%. We know that's a lie. China's economy is falling apart, and they're not doing so well. And finally, here's our bear story. Okay. Bear 1, Plane 0. Thank you, Morgan King. Yeah. Oh, by the way, that's where the video ends, is he's on top of the plane. So, pretty neat. I thought it was fun, and thank you, Morgan King. In the background, the music playing was Tailspin, by the way, which I think is hysterically funny. It's a bear on a plane! Yeah. I want to say thank you to Angela Richter for the membership. Much appreciated. And we got 3 memberships so far today, a couple of super chats, and we had an amazing show last night. If you want to be entertained and don't mind being aware of what's happening, because by the time we get to the middle of the show, we start talking about 2 articles and situations that are absolutely bonkers and probably not appropriate for younger folks. And I know I started the show a bit early today, but I had to get off my chest that there's certain parties that are not being held accountable for their misdeeds, their crimes against Americans, America, humanity, etc. Because instead of facing the music, they were pardoned, which means they committed the crimes. Sorry, never going to stop thinking that. But I am going to start saying thank you to 5 CultureCasino memberships from our good friend Tender Warrior 68. Amazing. And Liberty All's Cat for 2. Coach Casino Clam says 20F, guess who shows up in shorts and a hoodie? I don't know. I really don't know. 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I honestly can't answer that question. But would it be is it that Senator Fetterman? Is it Fetterman? That would not surprise me. Congratulations to him. If that's the case, holy cow. Some people are just iron-skinned. Randall Orser says, We here in Canada affectionately call ourselves the Great Soviet Socialist Republic of Kanakistan. Okay, fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you. Not going to argue with you. We got a raid from Follow the Bradleys Fun. Welcome, all my raiders. And once again, thank you, Tender Warrior 68. You are amazing. In fact, we have enough. We got to start slinging some cheese. Let's get to slinging some cheese, and let's get y'all on the screen. So let's do that. Here we go. A little bit of cheddar. A little bit of cheddar. Cheddar mo better. I want to say thanks again for everybody and your support.
Sweet cheddar. Guys.
Hey, Luke. I hope you're all right. Always worried about y'all. Always. All right, let's get back to layers. Boom. This is Slender Dad's here. Dedicated to personal enrichment, maybe. Oh, I guarantee you. Yeah. If you only make X amount of money as a politician, how do you become a 100 or 200 or 300 millionaire? It's a good question. Y'all know the answer. Carl Singh says, why pardon Fauci, though? I don't understand. Well, because he committed multiple crimes. I mean, goodness. I mean, and the number of times that he perjured himself. I mean, there's a lot there. And to be honest, he's kind of the keys to everything falling apart. And there's going to be international inquiries. I mean, he's maybe safe here in the United States because of this, but there are other international governments that kind of want to see him go to The Hague. Yeah, he's been declared a bad person in many countries. Of course, it is what it is. Follow the Bradleys Fun. What's up, Ron? Says, I don't think those pardons can stick, and they could very well be overturned by the Supreme Court. It's hard to say. See, there's been a lot of query or question about whether or not Joe Biden's been actually involved in bill signing and these types of events at all. I mean, the guy's a remote control puppet for the most part. I mean, he hasn't been in the White House very often. He's often on the beach taking a nap, if you can't, even up until the earlier parts of winter. So hard to say. But Sergeant Garatino, welcome to being a Rewards Club member. Much appreciated. Unless that's a renewal, and if it is, thank you. Staccato DDS for 10. Culture Casino Clam says Joe Biden will go down as the worst president we've ever had. Well, see, and that's been some people calling some of the stuff into question for sure. Disgusted by pardons, but I'm glad we don't have to hear from these Sarlacc pits again. True story. That's a reference to last night's show, by the way. Again, a little more adult oriented towards the end. So if you do go back and watch it, which I highly recommend, it was hysterically funny from the very beginning, where I completely blew the monologue and the great jokes that were written for me. But yeah, no, I do appreciate this $10, and I agree with you. I mean, I will get over this. I will be less angry. Right now, I'm pretty angry, but I will be less angry. Because it's basically on its face. And the reason that he did it this way is to get is to try to get the least amount of press possible. I'm not going to let that happen. We are going to be talking about these pardons for a while. Not just me, but basically everybody I know that does this, because what he did was a man, the word treason gets thrown around too often. It was a crime against the American people and the world in many cases, especially with the Fauci stuff. That guy is the biggest liar ever. blanket pardons. Why? Because he committed a ton of crimes. I'm not upset at all. No. And thank you again, Staccato. Much appreciated. Angela Richter, I said thanks to. Tender Warrior was amazing. Caradwin, good to see you. Southern Belle is here. Fetterman, that's what I guessed too. I think I was right. So accountability, being a Democrat means never having to say you're sorry or apparently go to jail. Two-tier justice, kids. And we have to stop that. That's pure corruption. Pure and simple, naked on its face corruption. Can't be, I guess you have to break the law to be progressive. I guess you have to break international laws to be progressive. I guess you have to break the laws against humanity, or excuse me, the laws for humanity. You have to break, everything about the other people on the planet. Sergeant Giratina, thank you for becoming a member. Much appreciated, my friend. We got Swift -1. Matt G, good to see you, buddy. Nita, graft and corruption pays well. Yes, it does, Nita. I'm so angry. It's going to take me a minute to get over this, guys. I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But yeah, Jill Biden will be the worst president in the history of the United States. Cynthia Carter says, I missed it. Did Joe give Tony Fauci a get out of jail free pardon for perjury and offshore the game? Yes, all of that and more. Again, this guy is corrupt. His wife's corrupt. There's so much corruption, it's insane. Yeah. So yeah, no, Fauci, Miley, every member of the January 6th committee, all of their staffs. That covers that one chick who lied her butt off in the testimony. They destroyed records, which is ridiculously evil and illegal. So they can't be charged for that. So basically, yeah. Pardons don't apply to state crimes. Investigate completely, if only so everyone knows what he did. I'm with you. And get assistance from, Kash Patel's FBI and all the government resources. Nothing says the government can't help the states. They do it all the time. That's why the FBI was created, right? Either that or it serves no purpose. We should get rid of it, along with the ATF, because they serve no purpose. They don't. Going Shogi says, preemptive pardons won't be allowed to shtick. What would stop a president from ACE's, getting rid of people if preemptive pardons exist? I can't even begin to talk about the elimination of others like that. Almost said the word. That'd have been bad. Southern Bell says, how can you pardon someone for no crime charges? Good question. I wonder what's going to happen. I just know this. If these are allowed to stick, it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. It's like they're really slow stepping the way that they wanted things to go. Had they sped it up a little bit, maybe we would have ended up with an actual presidential election. Well, thank you, Sergeant Giratina. I appreciate it. Very much so. Nita, I think Joe Biden makes Jimmy Carter looks like an effective president. And he is the one who started the failed experiment of the Department of Education and so many other things that have destroyed us through overregulation and corruption and growth of the administrative and not actually the accomplishment of the mission of a better education. We can get into that another time. Mark Fields has been here for 3 months. Thank you, Mark. I hope you're having all those positive vibes, my friend. Celebrating a fantastic show yesterday. Well, thank you. I really enjoyed that. Peach Fan Ann is saying hi to Luis Messina. I'll say hi to Luis Messina as well. Peach Fan Ann. Oh, I agree with you. U.S. criminal system, sure. Well, I think we should have government classes, Mr. Cat. Um, Government was a part of middle school, junior high, whatever you want to call it, and high school. In normal curriculums, you actually had to know about your state government, top to bottom, and how that operated, and you had to know about the federal government. Lee TXJD says they aren't preemptive pardons; they pardon past acts. Here's the neat part: how that they have been pardoned. They are not permitted to take the fifth in any related court case or investigation. I have been hearing that a lot, Lee. And if that is accurate, and I haven't had a chance to talk to Ron Coleman or Andrew, Legal Mindset, or anybody about this. I've wanted to. I actually need to reach out to Ron, but if that's the case, then they basically could expose the whole ball of wax and admit to everything that they did. That'd be wild. It's still the same thing. They're guilty. Whether or not you use that word or not. Jan, you are correct. This is the most corrupt use of government power against the citizens of this country. Yeah, seriously. You want to point out to your friends, you know, what everybody else saw very clearly that still thought, that the donkey was good. Sorry, I don't like teams. I don't like tribalism when it comes to this stuff. We are all Americans. We should be for the best for all of us, which is why the America First movement resonates with so many people. Because it's all about Americans, not the global kins. We're not all in support of the WEF's global goal government to take away your sovereignty. The UK is apparently, though. Southern Bell's like, the rotunda is more crowded than Reagan's second swearing in. Wow. Well, yeah. Man. Well, I know you guys all want to watch this, and I wouldn't blame you. We've only got 150 of you here live. I'll just say, I hope the healing of this country begins now, because the divisive 16 to 18 years that we've been fighting against this machine, the terrible machine that's been working against, from the inside against our best interest. I think time to tear it down. So, Jan Marin, so that I have a degree in government and a master's in public administration. There are ethics that are taught to everyone who goes through an MPA program. The pardons violate every one of them. Oh, the ethics. I don't want to start about it. The ethics conversation from the ground up across all of the disciplines and governments have been violated, and just like they're not even a suggestion anymore. They're a used tissue in the bottom of the waste bin. Matt G sends a super duper chat. And there it is. Swift -1. If only Swift was getting sworn in for 2 Culture Casino cash. There you go. Yep. Men would basically be enslaved at that point. live in little boxes. Oh, thank you, Lee. I appreciate it. I really appreciate seeing people on holidays that I wouldn't normally see because they're often working while I'm doing this. So thank you for being here, Lee, and everybody else. You guys really do make the difference. I have the best chat on the platform, I know. And also on the green machine, like Magnify and Gollum and everybody that's over there that Miss Pick Cafe is riding herd over, like the great and powerful Caveat Ties. And I'm missing Weatherman. It always worries me, but it is a holiday. I hope everybody takes care of it. Dude, it's deeper than the last 4 years, and there's no sour grapes. You have to look inward to see that that's not true. Um, there's the you don't you don't see anything wrong with the government's poor behavior over 16, 18, 20 years. I can't believe that, Mr. Cat. I can't. The Biden administration was their first attempt at seeing how one world would work in the USA. They're going to continue attacking the Constitution. Yeah, that's their plan. And that's why hopefully Trump gets an opportunity to place a couple more judges on the Supreme Court and make our form of democratic rule, the republic, survive forever. Pure democracies don't work. That turns into an authoritarian state. AOC is probably the dumbest person in a position of power I've ever seen. Her statements yesterday were ridiculous. Watch for me on the news if anyone I know gets touched by this. Touched by what, dude? I'm not sure what any of that meant. All right. I'm going to have to dip out. I want to say this. I had a really good time today. Um, and at the same time, frustration. It looks like they're all filing in or they're getting pictures of everybody. Anyway, do check out, watch what you can, watch the replay, and just be grateful that we're moving forward. And hold those politicians accountable that reject the cabinet positions that the president wants, because they are the ones that need to be primaried. And that's all I have to say. On that note, I'll say it this way, and I will see you elsewhere later today. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see you.